Welcome back, and thank you for joining us today for our after-school professional development. I'm joined today with Daniel Vanover, Jason Hicks, and Kevin Marcus. If you have any questions today, Mr. Hicks, he's manning the computer, and just type them in there on the lower right-hand part of your screen, and he'll send them over to us. Today, we're going to be talking about Google Drawings, and I went to the internet, and I found this definition of Google Drawing. Google Drawing is a free web-based diagramming software developed by Google. It allows users to collaborate and work together in real time to create flowcharts, organizational charts, wireframes, mind maps, concept maps, and other types of diagrams. So basically, it's a great way to create visuals for your classroom. Mr. Vanner is going to share his presentation with you, and we'll kick this thing off. All right. So here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to do a basic overview of Google Drawing, and we're going to talk about how to share it. Every time we present a Google app, we're always talking about the best thing about the Google apps is the ability to share and work collaboratively with people. Another great feature of Google Drawings is creating technology-enhanced questions. That'll be the first thing we talk about after we go over the basic overview. And at the end, we'll talk about some classroom uses for Google Drawings. Post-it note wall, newsletters, graphic organizers, Venn diagrams, comic strips, infographics. This is a great way for you to make your own graphics, make your own clip art. And if you want to add a custom signature to your Gmail, this is a great way to do that also. And the last one down there is a hotspot for an image. Hotspots are great ways to hide information, especially maps. If you want to have an image and you want to click on the image and information come up, Google Drawing is a great way to do that. Another way you can use hotspots is in slides. If we have time, we'll get to that. If not, we'll touch on it a little bit later. So the first thing you need to do is to sign into your Google account. And you do this by going to www.google.com. And if you notice in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a blue sign-in box. You'll go ahead and you'll click it. This screen will come up. You'll type in your Google username and hit next. Once you do that, you'll type in your password and type in sign in. Once you're logged into your Google account, your picture or your name will show up in this little circle. To access Google Drawing, the best way that I think to access it is to go to your Drive. How do I get to Google Drive? The easiest way is to go to google.com and click on the App Launcher. The App Launcher is this icon right here. On it, Google Drive is this icon right here. It has a red triangle. So you'll click on your Google Drive, you'll open up Drive, and now we can get to creating a Google Drawing. And the way you create a Google Drawing is to click on the blue New button, scroll down to More, and go down to Google Drawings. Once you do this, this is a screen that will appear. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Here's the basic functions of Google Drawings. You have your title. In your taskbar, you have your file, your edit, your view, insert, format, arrange, tools, tables, help. We'll talk about those here in a second. Also, down here below it, you have some shortcut keys. There's your print, your back and forward, zoom, cursor tool, line tools. These icons right here are your shape tools. This is how you insert shapes. This is how you insert lines. This is text box and images. And if you're working collaboratively with somebody, this icon right here is the comments button. You could add a comment for someone to look at something or ask their opinion on something. All right, so let's go on, talk about a little bit more of this information. The file button is just, excuse me, what's usually found in the file in our Google Docs. Here's your share, new. You could create a new spreadsheet, new doc, new drawing from right here. You can open up a file. You can rename the file, make a copy. This down here, I'm going to touch on this right here to download. When we talk about creating a Gmail signature, we'll do our signature in Google Drawings, and we'll have to download it. And we have to download it as a PNG or a JPEG file. This is where we'll do this. So when we're talking about creating our signature, this is where we're going to go when we actually download the image. And you can also publish this to the web. You know, this is a great little feature from Google. Any doc, drawing, you can publish to the web or sheet. It's almost like it creates its own little website. So if you wanted to create a newsletter in Google Drawings, publish it to the web, it's like its own little standalone website. Here's our edits and functions next. You got your undo, your redo, copy, paste, all that information. Here's our view. You can zoom in, zoom out. Here's probably a very important one. This is insert. This is how you actually insert images, text box, charts, shapes, tables into your Google Drawing. This is where you will add information to the drawing itself. The format. Now here's a little disclaimer about the format. If there isn't a shape, if there isn't a drawing, if there isn't a picture in your drawing, the format's not going to work. You have to have something on the screen. If you noticed, I had to add a text box before my formatting information would come up. So this is, you have to have something in there to actually work on. So I put the text box in. Now I could change the formatting of this text box if I chose to. Next one is the arrange. Now, if you're adding shapes, this is a great thing. If you're wanting to group shapes, if you're wanting to ungroup shapes, if you want to center them on the page, this is where you would go to do things like that, kind of like you would do in a Smart Notebook when you're trying to group shapes together. So if you're trying to move some things, you're wanting them to be paired up, this is a great place to do this. The tools, this is just your spelling, your spell check. The Explore button is something that's new. If you hit the Explore button, Google's going to give you a bunch of different kind of like choices, ways to help or make your drawing better. This is a great tool, especially in slides. It helps you create themes in your slideshows. And a table. This is how you insert your table and has all your table features in there. All right. So let's go out and let's look at some Google Drawings and let's look how we actually create one and get into the nuts and bolts of this thing. Google Drawings. Like we said, I think one of the best selling points for Google Drawings to use in the classroom is creating technology-enhanced questions. I'm going to bring up this drawing that I have. This is for all you physical science people out there. This is a diagram of a subduction zone, and here's our question at the top. Let me make this bigger so everybody can see. You notice when I make the picture bigger, my tools get smaller, but that's all right now. All right, so here's my question. Drag and drop the answers to the correct positions. This is a diagram of a subduction zone. So I'm going to label this subduction zone. Just drag and drop it. It's been a while since I took geology, so this may be right, may be wrong. We'll find out. Oops. So I've moved all my information there. I'm going to hit the undo button and get them back. The way that I created this, guys, I found the picture of a subduction zone, and the answers are already in it. All I did was took text boxes, filled them in white, and covered up the answers. Then I came down to the bottom. I did text boxes again, and typed in the answers. Now, here's a little disclaimer. When you're creating a Google drawing and you're wanting to do a drag and drop type question, you got to think about this drawing as a cake. when you're making a cake, you're making different layers of a cake. You start with the bottom first. Because if I created these text boxes right here first, then created these, I'd have a problem because when I drag it, my answers would not show. It would be underneath that text box. So when you're building these, you need to think about like a cake. You got to build from the ground floor up. All right, let me get this back down. So I'm going to show you how I actually went about creating this. We'll do one together. All right. So I'm going to go back to my drive, and we'll do it this way. So I want to add a new drawing. So I'm going to click New, go down to More, and Google Drawings. Do it one more time. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Go to New, go to More, and Google Drawings. The first thing I did was I have to go find, we're starting at the bottom. If you notice Google Drawings, this checkerboard design, this is indicating that this drawing, the background is transparent. If you're wanting to create like a PNG type photo, this is a great way to do this. You could paste in a picture and everything in the background is going to be transparent. So when you add it or put it into a doc or another app, the background will be transparent. So I'm going to change the color of the background. I right click, go to background. Okay, so now I'm going to add my picture. So I go up here to my taskbar, I come over to image. Now, if I had one on my computer, I could choose an image to upload straight from my computer. I could take a picture from my webcam. If I had a URL, I could put that in there. If I had a picture in my Google Drive, I could pull it from there. But this is a feature that I like the most to search. So I'm just going to type in subduction zone. And right here is the image that I found originally. So I'm going to click it and hit select. Now here's a little FYI. Any image that you find using this search is fair use. You don't have to worry about copyright issues. If you find it here and you're using Google Drawing, it's fair use. So here's our picture. I'm just going to resize it. And remember, it's like a cake. We got to build from the bottom. So I'm not going to do my answers just yet. I'm going to do my text boxes to cover up the answers. That's my next step. So I come up here to the text box tool. So I'll come here and cover up these answers. There's my text box. Now let's go over these tools right here real quick. This is a great opportunity. Here's our print. There's our undo. There's our redo. There's our paint, zoom, our cursor, add a line, add a shape, add a text box, and add an image. Now these tools right here are formatting tools. Fill color. I want to hide this answer. So here's where I'm going to add a fill color to this text box. I'm going to make it white. So there it is. The answer's covered up. I don't like that border. I don't like the way it looks. I want to jazz it up a little bit. So I'm going to click on my text box again. This icon right here does the color of the line. If you wanted a red line around your box, you could do that. This right here, the line weight, is how thick the border will be. So I'm going to make it 4 points. I want it to be a little bit, I want it to stand out a little bit. So I'm going to copy and paste this and cover up my other answers. You may have to resize your boxes. This little ball up here will allow you to flip it. So now I have my answers covered up. Now the next step is to create text boxes with the answers in it. And I would repeat the same process. I'm going to add a fill color. I'm going to do white. And I'm going to change the line weight to 8. Now, if you're going to have students coming up to the smart board or coming to the TV and actually clicking and dragging these, it's a good idea to have a thick border because it gives them something to aim for, especially if they're using their fingers on the smart board. It gives them something visual to touch to move. So you just type your answers in here. You can copy and paste, and you can create your text boxes this way. It's a great little way, to do technology enhanced type questions. Now here's the drawback. Can I add another one, like add another page and do another drawing? I can, but it's going to be its own standalone file. So I can't have a bunch like Smart Notebook does, a lot of different pages. Now there is a way around this. Let's go back to Drive. Let's just do a Google Doc. So I'm going to insert a Google Drawing. And I would go through the same process I did. I'm not going to get a picture. I'm just going to do a shape right now. Save and close. Here is my Google Drawing. So I can have this Google Drawing here. I could come down here and insert another one. So if the kids wanted to interact with it, they would have to just double click it. And now you can interact. You could click and drag that way. So if you want to do technology enhanced questions like that, you could build them in Google Docs this way. But the students would have to double click on the drawing itself. If you have any questions about that, let us know, Mr. Hicks. Relay it, and we'll answer anything you have. So that's an example of the technology enhanced. Here's another one for you chemistry people. Here's a matching game, little drag and drop for chemistry. You label the elements. You would drag them over sodium. Drag your iron over. 10, I'm thinking it's this one. I think it's SN. I think I threw the TI in. I think that's actually titanium. Threw that in as a trick. And barium. So, like I'm saying, you can share this with students. You can share it through Google Classroom. Create each kid their own drawing, and them actually fill these out and submit them, and you can grade them. That's just a great little way to test their knowledge of this. And it's something, they're going to see on the SOL test, the drag and a drop. It's a great way to practice, and it's a great way to make your images a little interactive. So if you want to use this in Smartboard, use this in class, have the kids come up, this is a great little tool for that also. Here's another one that I did. It's another drag and drop, but there's some other features that you can do with these. Here's the rock cycle. So like when we did the subduction zone drawing, I added my picture, I added my text boxes, I added my answers. But if you notice, if I go up here and I click this text box, there's a link that comes up to a YouTube video. So say I assign this to students, they do not know what igneous rocks are. They can click on this link, watch the YouTube video, and now they can fill out their diagram. Same thing for metamorphic rocks, the same thing for sedimentary rocks. It's just another tool you can do. So all I did was, once I did a text box, let me just draw another one. Click inside of it. I went up here to more. Sorry. Went up here next to more, sorry. You see this icon right here, insert link. Click insert link. I can just copy and paste the YouTube link right there. And there's a keyboard shortcut also. I could hit Control K, and that's going to bring up the same thing. So that's all I did to make this a little more interactive. So that's the technology enhanced part of this. Now, what if you're just wanting to have some fun? What if you're just wanting to add some captions to a photograph that you have? Maybe have fun with one of your coworkers. We all love getting that phone call early in the morning from Mr. Mark Giles saying Wiles County Public Schools will be closed or on a 2-hour delay. So here's a little picture I took. That is not Mark Giles. That is none other than Wesley Jason Hicks sitting at Mark Giles' office. So this is not Mark Giles saying 2-hour delay, sleep in, have fun. It's a little fun we have with each other on snow days. So if you're just wanting to add captions to pictures, this is a great way to do this. So let's just look at some of the tools that I used to create this. So if I come up here to the insert, this is just a shape. It's not a text box. You can write inside shapes. Went to shapes, and I clicked on one. I think I went down to call outs, and I did the little banner looking icon. I gave it a nice fill color. And if I double click it, I can write in it. Same thing here with this call out. It's just a little voice bubble call out. Now you could do anything else. I could add the shapes, did the arrows, anything like that. I could add another picture to go on top of this picture. So it's just what you need for your students, what you're wanting to share with them. So here's another one I ran across. I was wanting to just share with you guys. Was a Post-it note wall. This is something if you had a class website and you just wanting to post upcoming events, it's just a cute little way to have this graphic up. It looks like Post-it notes tacked to a wall. If we wanted to get real fancy, we could have came back here on this background and found a corkboard picture and added the corkboard in there. It looks like just you would have at home. And the only thing I did a yellow box, typed in it, and I went to the picture. I insert a picture right here, and I searched thumbtack. And it took me a while to find one. Here it is. I selected it, and I just had to resize it. So you teachers out there that like to create artsy type things, I can imagine a few Title I teachers that could probably burn this up. These fonts right here, if you need a new font, just get Jason Hicks to download you one. He loves downloading fonts. So there's that. Another one, is just word webs, graphic organizers. Here's an example of it. These are very easy to create. I even threw in a picture of a spider to make it cute. Only thing I did, I went up here to insert a shape, and I just did a circle, and I stretched it into an oval. And by default, it has this blue fill color. You come up here, you can change it. You can make it black, white, pink, whatever you want. And I went and I changed the line color, the border color to black, and the line weights. And I also with the lines, I just went to insert a line. One second, sorry, I have a little technical difficulties. There we go. And I did the same thing for lines. I changed the line weight to make it stand out more. So that's just a word web or graphic organizer, whatever you want to call it. Here's another example of it, Venn diagrams. Just it's just an easy way to create real quick diagrams for your classes. And all I did, I put in circles. Here's a little trick a lot of people don't know. If you notice, these circles intersect each other. Let me add a circle in here real quick. All right, solid. What do I have to do? I have to make the fill color transparent. Now it'll intersect the circle and not cover it up. You got to make sure that you make the fill color transparent for it to do this. So now they intersect each other. So if you're going to do Venn diagrams, that's something you have to do. Another thing, you can create your own custom graphics, kind of like I did with your thumbtack. You know, you can consider what I did here for Mr. Hicks. That's your own custom graphics. You know, we could save this as a JPEG, and now it's our word art. We could send it out and add it into demonstrations. And to do so, once you got your picture created, your drawing done, you'll come up here to File, Download. You can do it as a JPEG or PNG. Here's another example that you can use in classes, creating comic strips. Here's one I created real quick. It's not very original, but there we go. Only thing I did, guys, I did a black rectangle. I did another black rectangle inside of it. Did a white, two white ones inside of it, and inserted a picture and callouts to give it that layered look. So that's an example. You could have kids create their own comic strips. This would be a great thing for history teachers, science teachers, even English teachers using this. Let's get to the signature real quick. Is the touch working on the TV? We'll try it. Here's the signature. So I wanted to add a signature to my email. So I went in with Google Drawings and did my signature. If you notice, one of the features of Align is this scribble feature. Scribble allows you to actually do some drawing, actual drawing with your finger, with your pen, with your cursor. And I want to try to do it here on the TV. Let's see if it works. I don't think our touch is working, but that's all right. I can use my cursor and do the same thing. Try it now, Mr. Hicks. No. But I can still do it with my cursor. I can draw and I can write. And if our touch was working, it would work a whole lot better. But once you do your signature, the next step, if you want to add this into your Gmail signature, is to download it as a PNG or a JPEG file. And if you need help doing so, let one of the ITRTs know, and we'll be happy to come and show you how to do this. It might even be a great follow-up video in the future. Here's the last one I want to talk about is creating a hotspot on a map. You can pull up on this map icon picture I have. I went in, did my background, found me a picture. Now, when I click on a part of the map, get my cursor back up. You notice this link comes up. Now I get a link to a YouTube video. This is a map of the United States during the Civil War. And the ones in the light blue are the border states. So I'm presenting this to my students, or I shared this with my students. When they click on the border states, this video is going to come up. They click on it. They can get information from it. I think that's a pretty neat little thing, and I'll show you how I did that. There's actually 2 or 3 ways you can do this. I did this with the line feature. It's called a polycom. If you come up here and you look, polyline, sorry. It's called a polyline. So I'm going to click polyline, and I'm just going to trace the outline of this state. So I'm making a square. All right. And I'm going to make the fill transparent, and I'm going to make the line transparent. So you can't really see it. Oops, get out of there. All right, so I'm going to go and do my Control-K to add a link. I paste my link in here and hit apply. So next time I clicked on it, that link will show up and the students can go to another page. This would be a great way to link drawings or link to another website if you're wanting to go to get information for something. Now, there's another way you can do this also. You can do this with shape. You can do it with a shape also. You don't have to do the polyline. So I'm just going to do a square, and I'm just going to put a big square up here. I'm come up here. I'm going to make the fill color transparent. I'm going to make the line color transparent, and I'm going to hit Control-K. I'm going to type in my link and apply. So now when the student comes here and clicks on the northern states, it would take them, it would give them the option to go to this link. So that's a hotspot. That's what a hotspot allows you to do. Now you can do the same thing with inside slide. So thank you for joining us. Next week, we will wrap up our professional development series. All 4 of the ITRTs will be on the video together, and we'll be discussing social media. And next week, we'll also be uploading our latest edition of Talking EdTech, and we'll have special guest, William Austin, Assistant Principal at the Career Technical Center. I hope you will tune in for both of those. Once again, thank you for joining us, and you guys have a great day.